Alright, no script. I just want to show up genuine to you guys. I usually have some bullet points, but I think I want to talk about something that happened today. So I was pondering over the idea of why I fall into procrastination and why I find myself falling deeper and deeper into self sabotage. So let me start with my day. So I got up, even though I didn't really feel like it, something told me to get up. So I did. And I go down and I get my food because I get my food delivered to me every day. And I had a weird interaction with the delivery guy. He's like, "Your doorbell doesn't work." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I click it. He's like, "No, the light's not in." And I'm like, "I can hear it though." I'm like, I click it again. And he's like, "No, it doesn't work." I'm like, "Dude, click it." I'm like, "There you go. You can hear it." And that was a weird interaction. Besides the point. After that, I got my food. I drank my supplement and I'm not allowed to eat for an hour after my supplement. So I get my laundry, I pack it all up, I bring it to the laundry lady, and I get home, eat breakfast, and I meditate and do my yoga. And that's a really fire start to the morning, you'd think, right? But it all went wrong at some point. And why did that happen? This is where we got to be very attentive. So I start my day. I go up and I go start my work. And thing after thing becomes a problem. My first task I have on hand, I have a lot of resistance to. I'm like, I don't really want to do it. And so I was fighting myself to do it, but I didn't end up doing it. So I do something else. And when I do that something else, it creates issues. That something else would be my visa. I was going to extend my visa online. But then I come to find out that I supposedly missed some check-in that I had to do. So I am currently probably not in good standing with the government. So I got to go do that tomorrow. So don't freak out on me. And so there was my second backup task failed. Notice this because this is important. So I go to do another task, and this one's actually not even relevant to what I really need to get done for the day. But I slowly descended backwards because one task after another failed. And so I do this other backup task, and I go through the whole process, and I work hard at it, and it fails. It doesn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. And so that's multiple failures in a row. And so now we have some real friction in our day. We have some real resistance. And I'm like, okay, I gotta pick up my laundry. So you know what? I'll go do that. And I after all that friction and resistance to success, I was like, I don't really want to go out to get my laundry. And so I go downstairs and I sit on the couch and I look at my phone. And then suddenly I lose all of my day. And I'm not saying completely all of it, but things just keep on descending into complete chaos. And so where is the lesson in all of this? So besides the doom scrolling, I eventually broke free from the trap. After eating multiple times and stuff like that, I finally got myself to go get my laundry. I go out to get my laundry and things are good. Things went very, very well for her. And it's kind of weird because I really messed up on getting my laundry. I went to go pick it up. The laundry lady wasn't there. So I go to take my bag because, it's my bag, right? I don't really need their permission to take it. And I take it and all of a sudden, they're yelling out the window. And I guess they're yelling out the window because I forgot a bag. And it was a really endearing moment, even though you'd think it would be a little awkward. It actually wasn't. It felt actually good. And so these tasks that I had so much resistance to were actually one of the highlights of my day, believe it or not, right? And so the reality of the situation is I've kind of started looking at it this way. I'm like, what actually broke the cycle? Why did suddenly things change? It's because I finally hit a point of rock bottom, but that's besides the point. That's where you don't want to fix yourself because that's when it's too late. But I started looking at myself like a system. I started thinking, where did this all start? Where did the chain reaction of failure start? And I'm like, it started at the first hesitation. I was supposed to do this voice recording. What you're listening to right now, is exactly what I was hesitating on. This is it. Crazy, right? And so the solution I found is that you are a perspective shift away from understanding, where I'm going to go with this, okay? That's not exactly where I thought I was going with that sentence, but you need to hear this first. See yourself as a system, right? Certain reactions trigger certain results. You have a momentum system in your head. Look at it as like a bar chart, it goes up or down, right? Or I think it's better to explain it like a spiral. The downward spiral or the upward spiral, right? The second you are not going in the right direction, you are on the downward spiral. And it's good to be aware of that because the downward spiral gets more and more intense the farther down you get and the more parasitic and magnetic it becomes. And it goes the same way with the upward spiral. These two forces are constantly fighting with each other back and forth. And so there's a couple methods, but I don't really like this one method, but I'll say it anyways because it might work for some people. The first method is having a lower resistance task to start momentum. It could be anything, 10 push-ups, anything to start momentum. Just that small task that you have. It could be even something along the lines of like, oh, you want to go for a run? Put your shoes on. Oh, you want to go for a run? Stand up. It could be something as simple as that. For me, it was standing up, putting my shoes on, and then on top of that, I was gonna walk to the laundry shop to do my laundry, but instead I took the electric tricycle. So it was that one small thing of making more ease in the task, and that's actually what got it accomplished. Today's recording, I did not do any bullet points like I do because I like to have some type of flow, but instead of having a type of flow, I decided to go fully natural on this because it makes the process a little bit easier. And that ease of access to the momentum is very important. Whatever your task at hand is, make it easy. Eventually, you'll have this vigilance about where you're going if you're in the downward or upward spiral. And once you have that, you're much better off because it's that slight bar of awareness that will create everything to be different. I am currently in a change up of my routine. I was slacking. I kind of fell off, to be honest. I really did. I got a little bit lazy. And now I'm back on it. That's why I said earlier I did yoga and meditation this morning because I'm back and I'm going to work out and all this. And right now it sucks. It absolutely sucks because I don't want to do it. But give me a week, maybe two, and I'll want to do it and it'll be part of me. It'll be part of my identity. It'll be a part of what I do. And so the momentum will be built because the momentum is not a one-day thing. It is a thing that accumulates over time. Post one YouTube video, be a nobody. Post 1,000 and you'll probably be known. See the difference. Momentum accumulates over time. The upward spiral is longevity, it's long term. The downward spiral is also long term. That's why you see people become morbidly obese. You don't become morbidly obese overnight. The spiral happens over time. Unfortunately, the downward spiral has more obvious signs. You make a video, you post it, you might not become a millionaire, right? But you do something like you take a substance or something like that, you're going to know it's pretty bad when you're withdrawing the next day. So unfortunately, the downside has more immediate consequences than the upside. But I think it's almost designed like that by nature because when you do something wrong, you are told quicker. Think about that. You do something wrong, you're told quicker, you know quicker. Reality tells you you messed up quick. It doesn't let you keep messing up. It doesn't do that at all. You eat McDonald's, you eat all this unhealthy food, you feel like garbage. Reality is telling you you messed up. It's not the same for good things always. You might get a little mental boost, but good things are a little bit more slow paced. They're both long-term systems, but one is revelationary through time and one is deflationary through time as well. And so I guess I just got to ask you this. Are you going to have momentum towards destruction or are you going to have momentum towards growth? Because it doesn't stay stagnant. Energy moves forward or backwards. You will get better or you will get worse. There is no staying in place. And so if you want to get worse, at least consciously make that decision and say, I want to be worse. Because I think living like in ignorance and acting like you're not doing worse for yourself is quite foolish and honestly very immature. So if you don't want to be better, at least admit it to yourself. But I know you want to be better. I know you do. Because nobody wants to be a loser. No one wants to be unhealthy. Nobody wants these bad things. I will tell you right now, ask 100 of 100 people if they wish they were in good shape, aka in good health. All of them would say yes. Ask 100 people if they want to be rich, they'd all say yes. But you know what they do not all want to do? They not all want to do the process to get there because they prefer the immediate dopamine and the immediate consequence because that's how systems work. Negativity, immediate dopamine, immediate consequence, and long consequence. Good action, not as much of a kind of is, okay? You work out, you get a little bit of dopamine, but it's not the same as eating an Oreo, okay? But think about that. Really recall the order of the system.